Hello everyone, welcome to our presentation on the topic Equivalence in Translation. We are Group 4 from Class E19 with 4 members Trần Thị Thùy Dương, Hoàng Thị Kim Hoa, Nguyễn Xuân Khánh, and Nguyễn Thị Ái Vân. And today, speakers of the presentation are Nguyễn Xuân Khánh and Nguyễn Thị Ái Vân. Here I show you a mind map about what we're going to study in translation equivalence. As you can see, translation equivalence consists of two types, which are meaning-based equivalence and quantitative equivalence. Meaning-based equivalence is divided into 5 smaller types: denotative, connotative, formal, text normative, and pragmatics. With quantitative equivalence, we have one-to-one, one-to-several, one-to-part, and one-to-none equivalence. Okay, well, I have just talked about the outline of presentation through the mind map, so let me skip this slide. Let's get started with meaning-based equivalence, and first comes denotative equivalence. This is the type of equivalence in which source language and target language both refer to the same thing in the real world. This is equivalence of the extra linguistic content of text, otherwise called content invariance. Here we have two examples. Federal Reserve can be translated into Cục Lưu trữ Liên bang Hoa Kỳ, and tiger means hổ or cop in Vietnamese. They are tangible things existing in our world. Next, I would like to invite Ms. Vân to deliver knowledge on connotative equivalence.
Now I will focus on connotative equivalence. Another type is connotative equivalence. Here, source language and target language should produce the same communicative values in the mind of native speakers of two languages. It's related to the lexical choices, especially between near synonyms. So it's also called stylistic equivalence. And the connotation transmitted by word choice, a single denotative meaning can be expressed in many ways. In terms of speech level, in poetic way, we can choose the word choice that is suitable with the context, especially in the poems or songs. Now we would like to show an example. This is a poem written in both English and Vietnamese by the same person, Nguyễn Đình Sinh. With the same word or phrase, we can translate it normally or colloquially. That means being informal. For instance, the phrase "have a meal." Based on the particular situation, it may be translated into Vietnamese like ăn một bữa or chén một bữa. Slang consists of a lexicon of non-standard words and phrases in a given language. For example, the word sick is often used to express a bad health condition, but in some situations it means cool, awesome, or the best. The next type is XuKa. Connotations of socially determined image. For example, with the word leader, we have so many words with different meaning. For example, student language means nhóm trưởng, military image can be translated into thủ lĩnh, political usage is lãnh tụ or người đứng đầu. Law means luật sư chính. Musical usage means người lãnh xướng. Electricity means vật dẫn or dây dẫn. The next example with the phrase ring a bell. For example, non-regional means đổ chuông or rung chuông. Or in American English, when mentioning something sounds familiar to you. For example, the sentence, I have met your friend XuKa before, right? The name rings a bell. In this sentence can be translated into Vietnamese like tớ đã từng gặp XuKa, bạn của cậu rồi, đúng không? Cái tên này nghe rất quen. The next type is dialect. Dialect is a variety of a language that is a characteristic of a particular group of language speakers. For example, different words are used in different groups of language speakers based on geographical relation of origin. Sắc chuột in northern is chipmunk, but is ground squirrel in northern and midland. In connotations of medium, we have two common types of language, written and spoken. The example below shows the difference between them. For example, in written language, we have sentence, advances in technology are speeding up the writing of business programs, and it can be translated into Vietnamese as sự tiến bộ của công nghệ đang đẩy nhanh tốc độ việc ghi chép của những chương trình kinh doanh. However, in spoken language, we have the sentence, because technology is advancing, people are able to write business. And this sentence can be translated as vì công nghệ đang tiến bộ, con người có thể ghi chép các chương trình kinh doanh nhanh hơn. We have another type of connotations, such as archaic. Archaic means old or no longer used words. We have artificial, fashionable, descriptive, and euphemism. Euphemism refers to polite, indirect expressions which replace words and phrases considered harsh and impolite. Euphemism depends largely on the social context of the speaker and writer, where they feel the need to replace certain words which may improve embarrassing for a particular listener. For example, we use the phrase the underprivileged instead of the poor. Common words are found in any conversations or essay. In contrast, uncommon words are rarely used. Sometimes might cause confusion to readers and may make a passage of text appear unwiley. For example, additive means remote, secret, or hidden. The next style of connotations of register is normal and technical, and we have given you some examples in this slide. The next one is neuter. For example, die means change. About positive means respect. Pass away means đi xa, qua đời or khuất núi. And ironic, like the phrase kick the bucket means well or tỏi đời or pejorative. And the last one is emotive. And that's all about connotations. And now Khánh will continue our presentation by giving you some details about the other type of meaning-based equivalence.
With text normative equivalence, we focus on text types, which vary greatly in linguistic behaviors and restrictive rules. In translating narrative, description texts, legal contexts, or business letters, pattern of speech usage in particular text types must be declarative in order to produce the same effect on respective readers. Take an example of writing on letters. In the opening, we have Dear Sir or Madam, and in Vietnamese we write Kính gửi, kính thưa quý ông bà. In the closing, we have Yours sincerely, and in Vietnamese we write Kính thư. On the contrary, pragmatic equivalence doesn't require strict obedience of the original text pattern, but depends on the readership. It is also called communicative equivalence. The translator may have to escape from usage norms in order that the readers can understand the target language. So this type allows translators to escape from the usage norms and make the text as comprehensible to the readers as possible. For example, translation of scientific texts aiming at uninformed people. The last one included in meaning-based equivalence is formal equivalence. It focuses on the form of the text, rhythm, voice form, special stylistic forms of expression in syntax and lexis, word plays, metaphor. Normally, we are likely to encounter this equivalence in translation of literary texts like poems or songs, and we may call it expressive equivalence. Now, we'll examine the second category of equivalence, quantitative. The first type, one-to-one, is also called total equivalence. It is when one item of source language corresponds to only one item in target language. For example, planet means hành tinh. Catalytic reaction only means phản ứng xúc tác, or niche market means thị trường ngách. With one to several or choice-based equivalence, translator has more than one option in word choice, and he or she may choose the one that best suits the situation he or she is dealing with. The word temple, for example, could refer to either chùa, địa đền, or miếu in Vietnamese expression. The same thing applied for the action nói, when we must look at context to decide on which word to use. Say, tell, talk, or speak. But there are cases that a target language expression cannot fully convey the meaning of concepts designated by a source language expression, like the word nice, which may mean pretty, adorable when describing someone's appearance. Nice could also mean kind, friendly, when referring to his or her characteristic, or even both. In this case, translator may have difficulty finding only one word in target language that can cover both senses of meaning about. The last one, and also the most common type of equivalence, named one-to-none equivalent or null equivalence. This occurs when target language has no equivalent expression to that of source language. Here is a definition of Vietnamese famous street food, bánh mì, taken from Oxford Dictionary. The name of the food is preserved because English has no expression for a kind of food, which is somehow like a sandwich, but with so many different ingredients. Typically including meat, pickled vegetables, and chili. And that brings to the end of our presentation today on equivalence in translation. Thanks for watching.